Welcome back to Las Vegas. It's Alex Belfield at Planet Hollywood. Having just seen one of my favorite magicians and one of the best afternoon shows I've ever seen, full of fun. And what's great, it's a family show, and it's Nathan Burton. How are you?
Welcome back. This is your second time to my show. You came to the Flamingo.
Right, I think I came twice to the Flamingo.
I think you did. Now you caught me off guard. I think it was twice. And now you saw the new show at Planet Hollywood. Thank you for coming back. Thank you for making that long, 10-hour flight from the UK?
It's a long way, isn't it? And these flights are not getting easier. Service is not getting better on those flights, trust me.
Yeah, I've done the flights. It's not a fun flight.
What's amazing about you is you've got an afternoon show, and who knew that in Vegas there were these shows filling theaters with these amazing production shows, and you really give it everything. You could just very easily turn up by yourself and take all the money and run. You don't do that. You put on 3 acts with you who are phenomenal in their own right. They're all good enough to be headliners, and then there's you in between wowing it. Sat next to me was seriously a 3 or 4 year old, and sat next to them was a 7-year-old, and their mum and dad, and they were engrossed for the 90 minutes. It's incredible, isn't it, that people from all generations, all countries, all sexes can just enjoy a magic show.
Magic is, an international language. You can make someone disappear and you get it. You don't have to speak English. You don't have to, you don't have to read or write. You understand magic on any level, from a 2-year-old to 100.
I was so proud to see you on my telly in the UK this year with America's Got Talent, and there you were again, just showing what you do. If you Google your name, Nathan Burton, you're all over there, and you're incredibly polished, and you're so slick at what you do, and very warm. And I have to say, that really is the gift from God, that you deliver this without all that sort of magic stickiness. There's a lot of that goes on, all the pointing and the eyes and all that. You don't waste time with that. You get on and do it, and people like you, don't they? Now, you can't be trained, can you? Is that just you?
I'm kind of humble. That's an amazing compliment. And it's just, what you see on stage, it's not exactly me, but it's 95% me. What you see, the toilet paper, and as a kid, I did that as a kid. And did I really go into a microwave? No, but I did it as a bit in drama class. I was in an African American school. I was like the only white kid in the class, and I came up with this bit, and I did it as a skit, and it became so. What you see in the show is really, if you hung out with me, I'm probably a little shyer just off stage, but that you're seeing who I am. You're seeing inside of me on stage.
I've been very honest to you off mic, and we don't talk about certain things on mic, but I'm going to be a little bit critical of your show. Do you mind?
You can say whatever you want.
I've got to be a little bit. You became almost irrelevant to me in this show, and I'm sorry to say that because this isn't nice, but there were 2 young ladies that you brought on who were incredibly distracting this afternoon.
I call that misdirection. When you're looking at the beautiful girl and you see that little twinkle in her cleavage, we're pushing in a tiger and an elephant, and you're like, where'd it come from?
I mean, they are divine, aren't they? Where else in the world could you turn up at 4 o'clock in the afternoon and have them next to you and then be home by 7?
We have something for the moms, we have something for the dads, and we have something for the kids. But it's, it's a family-friendly show. You can bring the kids, and there's, we have a couple jokes and a couple innuendos, but nothing that's, if you bring your kids to Vegas, you're going to have a great time.
Do you know what I love about you more than anything, above the great magician that you are and the personality that you are, is the fact that you're willing to put people in your show who are good. Because there's a rule in show business. You don't put anybody in who's better than you. You always upstage everybody else because you're the star. You put people in who, in their own way, they don't do what you do, they do what they do. And they're complete, unique acts. It's very humble of you to do that, because it would be very easy, wouldn't it, just to put any old filler in. These guys have dedicated their lives. Today we saw a man with a parrot. I don't know how he does what he does. He is a magician in his own right. These birds adore him, clearly.
No, the birds are amazing. He was on America's Got Talent. You probably saw him in the UK if it's airing yet. And it's amazing. And I pick acts that I want to see. And I listen to the audience, and if they enjoy it and I love it, that's what goes in my show. And you know what? I just want the best show, and I want people to walk out of this like, man, I had a great time.
And I did this afternoon. I was genuinely laughing from the belly, which has been very rare. And I don't think it's actually happened this trip, because many of the shows here are production shows, aren't they, where you're watching the spectacle. Yours is interactive, of course. You need the audience, you pick on the audience, you use the audience. And that's the thrill of magic, isn't it? It can go right and it can go wrong. Luckily, today it went right.
I luckily, knock on wood, everything went really good today, and the audience was they enjoyed the show. It's, and that's all I want. All I want, I'm not going to change your life. You're not going to stop smoking. I'm not going to cure a disease. You're going to come into my show, and you're going to have fun for an hour and a half, and you're going to laugh, and you're going to have a good time. And I'm not necessarily funny, but we have funny stuff in the show, and it's just about having a great time.
And then there's a creepy side of you where you can read my mind. There's one illusion you do where you get somebody on stage and it blows them away every time I've seen you do it, where you predict what they're going to buy in a supermarket before they buy it. Are you mental?
My mental depends on who you ask. No, it's funny. I have someone yell out a cereal, and we have a box hanging up, and we bring it out and open it up, and the box of cereal is in there, and with the price that someone else selects, we have someone throw an inflatable sign around the audience, so it's totally at random. And it's funny, Larry King, I did a show for him. Out of everything in the show, that was his favorite trick in the show. Was I asked him what kind of cereal, we opened up and gave it to him, and he was like, how the F did you do that?
And again, because it's so clever and you throw curveballs in there's another thing you do with a bottle which seems to be going nowhere, and you're thinking, oh, okay, we get it, and then boom, there you go. That's what magic's about, isn't it? Taking you one way and then leading you completely in the opposite direction.
It's always about surprise. You think we're going here, and we end up, how do we end up over here? And it's surprising. You laugh and you have a good time.
And then there's an audience full of people, and I know this is an entertainment town and there should be an audience full of people, but I've been in quite empty theatres over the last couple of weeks. I know it's a quieter time of year. You've managed to pull them in. On a business level, I admire you greatly to be able to do that, because this is a competitive town and you've got to get word out there that you're available and you're on and you're doing this show. Is that as important as the show itself, to make sure your business plan is there? Because you've got to pay a ton of people to get that on stage every day.
Unfortunately, I wish I was a superstar like David Copperfield and Chris Angel. They have the huge household names. Everybody pays big money to see them. Then they're like, well, who's this Nathan Bird guy? Maybe we saw him on America's Got Talent. Maybe we saw him on the internet. But unfortunately, the marketing and the business side is more important than the show. And I love the creative process. I love taking a blank piece of paper. I love drawing out an idea. And then 2 months later, it's in the show, and I watch your reaction to see. And that's my baby that I put out there. And I love that. Unfortunately, I spend 90% of my time on the business side. And we have to figure out how to get people to come see our show at 4 o'clock in the afternoon and spend money. And you have over 100 shows you can see. There's over 11 magic shows that you can, only you see all the magic shows. A tourist will only see 1.5 shows, if that. So it takes a lot of work. And people, since I've opened in 6.5 years, probably 20 magic shows have opened and closed in that time frame. I would say 90% of the shows close that open and try. It's a very tough town, and anybody that comes here and does their thing, big or small, I give them 100% credit and respect. And, I give it up to anybody that comes here and tries and survives.
The other thing I admire about you is your bravery in going on America's Got Talent. That could have been a disaster. For many it is. Magicians are generally laughing stocks. You talk about 90% closing. 90% of people who go on that show end up being X'd off by Howard Stern in a fit of rage because he's so bored. Did you consider that when you went on? Because, you could have been just another one of those laughing stocks. The editors can have fun with you, can't they?
They can. It's a roller coaster ride, and America's Got Talent's been amazing. Fremantle Entertainment's been amazing, and we're actually working on a TV project together now. So I'm the guy that hit the jackpot with America's Got Talent. I won the $1 million. I didn't win $1 million on the TV show, but I won $1 million worth of ticket sales, even more. And now I have this other project with them that's even. It's beyond my dreams come true. So. It is. It's a roller coaster ride, and sometimes you roll the dice, sometimes you win, sometimes you lose, and you have to be willing to take that chance. And if you don't, you just never know.
And I think it's a huge credit to your personality and your character and the way you deliver your magic, because so many people are huge successes, even win, come second, and are never seen again, never remembered. You keep coming back, and they keep bringing you back. It's a stupid question. I know you're not going to be willing to answer it or able to answer it, but why? Do you ask yourself, why me?
Why me? I think they know when I come on the show that I'm going to bring the very best. I always try to over-deliver. Hey, we're going to do this, and I always, just like my show, I try to surprise you. Like you come to a 4 o'clock show in the afternoon, you're like, okay, it's going to be okay, and hopefully you walk out there going, wow, we saw a lot more than we expected. And I try to do the same thing, and it's kind of weird. Somehow I'm the magic expert when it comes to America's Got Talent. magicians call me and they're like, I have this idea, I want to go in the show, and I lay it out. I said, here's what it is. It's a competition. You could do great, you could do bad. You get a stand ovation, you can get booed. You have to be willing. Are you tough enough to go in the show and be willing? Howard Stern's a huge Magic fan, and I believe he wants a magician to win. And I think if the right circumstance and the right situation, a magician can win America's Got Talent.
Yeah, I think he was disappointed this year that the way it went, it wasn't as sensational as he hoped. And I think this year the producers are, well, I know for a fact they're working much harder to find better talent, because there needs to be somebody you can remember. I mean, across the street you have Terry Fator. And again, you can't knock him. He may be a guy who plays with puppets, but it's the best in the world. It's fantastic.
Yeah, no, it show's amazing. And there's a lot of people on that team of America's Got Talent that they love magic. The executive producer, Jayson Ralph, he worked on the Siegfried and Roy TV special, and he loves magic. Howard Stern loves magic. Howie Mandel likes magic. Sharon Osbourne. I'm going to get in trouble for that one when I'm back on the show. But
she's gone anyway, so don't worry. She's not coming back.
Oh, she's not coming back. Oh,
she's done.
She's done. That's right. So they love
Sharon Stone, though. She'd be a good replacement, wouldn't she?
Would, especially if you're standing on stage, yes, exactly. Looking at the. Okay, that's a callback to it.
Let's move on from that. I truly loved your show. The energy you bring to it, and the guys you bring with you are stunning. I mean, there was a guy who did close-up magic. Again, I mean, from a professional point of view, do you look at something like that in just awe and just think, this is a guy who has dedicated his entire life to 3 minutes of this incredible, fascinating, mind-blowing magic?
It's magic. It's a very cool career. I mean, and I've known Armando, the closest magician. I've known him 20 years, and we did a show together when we were kids. And I haven't seen him for 15 years. Came to Vegas. He's like, I want to do close-up magic. I said, no one's really done like a close-up magic show. And I actually produced his close-up magic show at 3 o'clock. And it's 45 minutes of close-up magic. It's a very cool experience. And I mean, I love magic. And this is a dream come true to perform in Vegas among my peers that are the best of the best, you know. And I pinch myself every day. And some days I come off stage, I go, I can't believe I'm doing what I do.
And very finally, I've done you a favor. I'm doing this interview and I'll put it online and all of that stuff. We'll get it on YouTube and hopefully sell a few tickets. The number for one of your showgirls, is there any chance that you could hook me up?
It's 702. We're breaking up.
Nathan Burton, really nice to see you. And thank you for being you and for being so nice and welcoming. It's been a pleasure talking to you.
It's always a pleasure to be on the show. And I look forward to number 4 when you come back.
Oh, yeah. This time next year. Let's make a date.
All right. I got to get some new stuff. I'm going to start working on it.